Get a slice of Skyrim right here in Cyrodiil.
Wonders all here.
Nordic heritage, Nordic culture, Nordic metalwork.
Oh look, an infant. How quaint. Surely the better question would be, why so patient? Because I can tell you in no uncertain terms that you are trying my patience with your primitive blubbering and inane questions. Leave me. Oh, but we practically do. I presume even one such as yourself is aware of the White Gold Concordat, yes? That document guarantees the Thalmor the end of worship of that miserable little man-god the Nords so love to falsely revere, Talos. We need to ensure that this agreement is upheld. Hunt down and execute Talos worshippers, keep people in line, and enforce the White Gold Concordat. Until next time.
My weapon wants a temperin'. Things want to kill him. Fetch me 3 iron ingots to temper my weapon and my book o' killin' so I know who needs killin'. Then I'll give you gold. Only when my weapon wants a temperin' and things want a killin'. Good. My killin' arm's itchin' to do more killin'.
Oh, did you need something?
Good morning.
It's a dingy squad filled with criminals, rats, and lice. The amount of underhanded deals and crooked business that goes on there, it beggars belief. I want its proprietor to land in hot water with our dear guard captain. He deserves it, no? Say, would you help me with that? Excellent. As it so happens, I'm a mage by trade. I have access to many magical items from my home of Alinor. Take this. It's a very special memory gem. I have one active at all times, and this particular one recorded everything that happened at the tavern that night. Take it and let the guard captain listen to it. Irrefutable evidence. I'm sure he'll see fit to take action then.
I'm Root. What is it? I'm Ruchia of the Jucani family. Not really much more to tell. We're not all that interesting a family, truth be told, though I'm sure Albekius will rattle on about how influential we are. He's tooting his own horn a little too much on that subject. He wishes we were influential, and the gods know he's trying his hardest to make it so. But for now, we're just like any other moderately wealthy family. We attend private parties and have fineries, but we're certainly not pulling the strings of the Elder Council as much as Albekius.
Stranger, have you seen my dad? Dad's a soldier in the Legion. He's always off with them, serving at some fort up in the mountains. Yeah, Grandpa told me it's a soldier's duty and that I should be proud of him. At home, I think. We all live in the big house across from the wizards. Mommy says they're called the Synod Conclave, but they just look like wizards to me. They make so much noise at night that sometimes I can't sleep. That big eye on their building is scary, too. Celis Prelius. Mommy says it's a strong imperial name, but I like my name better. It means I have a strong heart. Mommy must like it better too, because she uses it even though it makes Grandpa mad. She works at the Duralview Inn. I don't think she likes it there, but she says she has to make ends meet. Whatever that means. Whose end, and why does he need meat in the first place? Licinia Ironheart. She told me that she used to be called Licinia Prelius, but then she married Dad. He's big and tall with yellow hair. That's what my mom told me. She told me that her dad was in the Legion too.
See you around.
What is it? Looking for the news. Talk to you later.
What is it?
How may little D'Artagnan help a big one such as yourself? Ah, a fair question. For my trade is perhaps not so obvious on first glance. This one calls himself a hunter and fur trader. He stalks the wilds of the Geralds and brings down the beasts and the deer. He skins them and sells the furs here in Bruma. The Nords love bear pelts, this one has found. Well, this one does also sometimes explore the caves and tombs of the wilds in search of treasure, and sometimes he finds. This one likes to stay south of the border. The Empire makes the Nords let you through the walls. It is better than constant wandering, even if not so profitable. But there are still many septums to be had. If you mean to ask why D'Artagnan is not in elsewhere, it is quite simple. He came to Citadel a great many years ago, so long ago he does not even remember the reason, and he has stayed here since. There are plenty of opportunities for adventure and profit, if one knows to look in the right places. About D'Artagnan? Not so much to tell. He comes from elsewhere, but his home is in Cyrodiil. He has spent most of his time walking Tamriel in this place, and so far, he has no desire to leave. This one hunts, and he sells for a tidy profit. He plunders ancient tombs and caves in search of treasure, and treasure he finds. He lives comfortably, even if he is not rich. He is self-sufficient, and he is content. Yes, indeed. This one labors long and hard to earn his keep. Hunting can be tiring, although... This one is feeling a bit lazy today. What if you were to bring him some bear pelts instead? He will pay you well. Because this one has lucrative contracts with the merchants in Bruma that ensure he makes a profit. So D'Artagnan will simply offer you a price between the standard going rate of the pelts and the lucrative price he will receive. Profit for everyone, yes? Except Sidis Perusius. He has no idea he's being ripped off. Excellent. Just return to this one when you have, say, 10 of the pelts.
What is it? Until next time.
Hello. Next you'll be telling me, my, oh my, not many guar in Bruma. Scales of Auriel, thanks for telling me that. I'll be sure to tell all my friends. Put up posters, even. No, I just wear the uniform for fun. Yes, of course I am. I'm here to protect the Aldmeri interests in Bruma, and ensure that the terms of the White Gold Concordat are upheld. Important, given that we're so close to Skyrim and its rebellious little Nords. To hear you speak of civility is somewhat disarming, considering our environs. This city is filled with uncultured louts who I suspect would quickly turn on each other for an ancient bottle of mead. Given that you at least have the vocabulary and mental faculties to understand the concept of civil society, yes, let us speak. But be quick about it. Disarming lack of incorrigible idiocy aside, you are still not my idea of a scintillating conversationalist. I will put it in simple terms, so perhaps you might understand. The Aldmeri Dominion signed an accord with the Empire, known as the White Gold Concordat. That accord guarantees the Dominion, and by extension the Thalmor, that Talos worship shall be outlawed. We are simply here to ensure that the Empire does not renege on that commitment. No. If anything fruitful is going to come of this conversation, it will not be the sentimental exchange of life stories. Suffice it to say that I am a Thalmor Justiciar operating in Bruma. My identity outside of that is entirely irrelevant. I am Altmer. I was born and raised among the wizard lords of Alinor, and now I am posted to a frigid squat filled with brutes and drunkards. That doesn't exactly lend itself to a warm disposition. Does that make things any clearer? Nor does ignorance justify obstinance, but that lesson evidently hasn't trickled down to many residents of this frosty backwater. Oh well, I suppose a Khajiit can't change its spots just like that. But yes, to put a long story short, we are all products of our environment, are we not? Guilt. Why should I feel guilt? I'm a Thalmor Justiciar, yes, but the Aldmeri Dominion is not a single consciousness. This empire is a political entity. It has committed untold acts of persecution and genocide in the past. One need only have a cursory knowledge of the Tiber Wars and imperial history to know this to be true. Tiber Septim, the man-god so many Nords and Imperials love to revere, was himself guilty of the sins you attribute solely to the Dominion. But I digress. I am a soldier of the Thalmor, and I carry out the duties assigned to me by my superior. If your goal is to make me feel guilty for enforcing dictates which are then I'm afraid you will enjoy precious little success. I haven't given it very much thought. My enjoyment is irrelevant. I have a role within the Thalmor, and the duties which go along with that. I have fulfilled and will continue to fulfill that which is asked of me to the best of my ability. Again, my enjoyment, or otherwise, is irrelevant.
Excuse me, sorry to bother. I don't suppose you've seen any priceless Sakaviri heirlooms gallivanting around Bruma, have you? Sakaviri heirlooms. Priceless Sakaviri heirlooms. Seen any? As I suspected. Sorry to bother you, citizen. Just, let me know if any do crop up, yeah? Thanks. A whole lot of uproar about nothing, that's what. The Count's been nagging my life and soul out about the damn things. You see, the Carvanes have a sort of family tradition. They've acquired a taste for Akaviri artifacts, constantly collecting more and more. Been going on for centuries now. Well, it turns out poor old Count Desilus, Count Carvane, isn't too happy that his collection's been stolen. No, not tensions as such, just... I'm tired. I've had 4 sleepless nights in a row. The Count's talking my ear off about these artifacts, and it's stopping me from tending to more important issues. Not that I'm disloyal to Count Carvane, of course. I've never had reason to dislike our ruler. Better him than some of the other counts and countesses in the province. Yes, this damned artifact business doesn't affect anyone except the Count. While I'm out chasing after shiny baubles, people are getting killed by bandits and waylaid on the road. I mean, we've got Thorina's cutters roaming the Gerals and harrying travelers for Stendar's sake. And I'm wandering Bruma after trinkets like some lost paint horse looking for its master. Well, who am I kidding? Absolutely. This is driving me crazy. Just bring them back to me when you found them, and I'll be extremely appreciative. And I mean extremely appreciative. Seriously. I feel like offing myself right about now. Akaviri artifacts. I don't know anything more specific than that. Rignar and the Count both told me, but honestly it flew in one ear and out the other. If you want to know exactly what artifacts to keep your eyes peeled for, talk to Rignar. I'm sure he can help you more there. Almost definitely the resale value. Akaviri artifacts are very often one of a kind, and they can fetch a very high price to the right buyers. Someone possessing those artifacts could find themselves becoming very wealthy very quickly. I suspect that's the motive here. It's tough. On one side, you've got criminals, the kind that like to hide behind law and policy to wriggle out of justice. On the other, you've got politics, constantly meddling in our affairs as everyone walks on eggshells. And here I am in the center, just trying to make things work for the people. Sometimes I wish I'd stayed down in the Imperial City. Not in particular. Then again, the lowlives of Bruma don't exactly hide themselves all that well. The shadier tavern in town, the Restful Watchman, full of thieves, bandits, thugs, and other miscreants, might be a decent place to start your search. More than you might think. Between the Count, the White Gold Concordat, and all the other treaties, the rules are constantly changing. All I want to do is protect these people, jail criminals, earn my keep, and then the damned wind changes, and with it, the law. And then, what do you know, I'm supposed to jail this group, and that group, and the other group. And for what? For politics. Despite it all, though, I wouldn't trade this job for the world. It's rewarding, fulfilling, and at least it lets me provide for myself and my family. Yep, me and my family. Wife and children are still there, in fact. Left because the place is swarming with people. Hard to find any work. Came up here, couldn't find much work either. Joined the guard on a whim. Saw a lot, rose to the ranks. And now I'm guard captain. Funny how things work out. I try to take my duties seriously, and send as much as I can back to my loved ones. I'm not too sure on the details of that, to be honest. Rignar, the castle steward, was the first one who noticed them missing. Might be worth speaking to him, if you think that's interesting evidence to dig up. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. We have it fairly okay compared to some other parts of the province. The problem is that the criminals here aren't driven to it out of desperation. They just want the coin, to get rich. They know how to game the system. Except Dartakto. He's... well, never mind. I've probably told you too much. No, I can't. Sorry, but I can't go blabbing about people's checkered pasts. Sir? Oh, well, this should be interesting. Go ahead. Let's listen.
What's that snot-brained Altmer doing here? This is no place for one of them.
You don't think he's Stalmore, do you?
No, doesn't seem the sort. But he's still not the right type for our little den. Might bring the wrong kind of attention.
So what do we do? Stabbing him would be excessive, so...
I know. Why don't we treat him to a little show of our favorite lusty Argonian maid?
Perfect. Let's go fetch her. Here, take this coin. I'd like to buy a little show for my Altmer friend over there.
Viscount Bruma. The title
Sure
garners a
thing.
lot of respect and a fair...
Oh, one other thing. He wanted you to roleplay as Lifts-Her-Tail, you know, from...
Have you read my book by any chance?
Altmer. Always the same fantasy. Sure thing. Hey, darling. I heard you wanted a date with Lifts-Her-Tail.
What is the meaning of this? Lifts-Her-Tail? What a ridiculous name for an even more ridiculous... Oh my! Zarxus's breath! What in oblivion are you doing? I demand that you put that back on! Ariel, give me strength! Cease and desist! I demand that you cease and desist at once, you cretinous lizard woman! Stop jiggling about! I can't take this anymore. I think I'm going to faint. I think... Oh. Ha! It worked. Otis, you really are a genius.
I know. Sop didn't even know what hit him.
Ha! They breed 'em special in Alinor, don't they?
Well, that's certainly very interesting. But I'm not sure that there's much in there that I can take action on. Tell our Altmer friend that I'm very sorry. I have no idea how they'd manage that, honestly. Either adept stealth or good luck. Probably a bit of both.
Gerals are very cold down here. Every time of year.
I'm the Count Steward here in Bruma. If there is anything you need, I'll try my best to help you. County Bruma is the jewel of Cyrodiil. Though the mountains may be frosty, the hearts of our people are as warm as the brightest hearth. Of course, that's not to say that she's perfect. As with any county, we have our fair share of vicious wildlife and shameless brigands. But we don't let that put a dampener on things. That's the Nord way, after all, and Bruma's as Nordic as she is imperial. Indeed I am. I handle the day-to-day business of the county on behalf of the Count, the fair and honorable Decilas Carvain. There are threats popping up constantly. Here, take a look at this bounty decree for details. So the guard captain's actually looking into it. Excellent. Can't have the Carvain artifact collection lost to some random burglar. Some amulets, some rings, a katana, all of Akaviri design. Priceless relics. Very valuable and very well loved by the Count. I didn't know. I was just doing the rounds here in the castle. I was about to go to bed for the night when I noticed something. Normally there's a little glint in the corner of my eye. The light bouncing off of one of the Akaviri amulets. But this time, nothing. I went to investigate, and the artifacts were gone. I'm sorry I can't be of more use. Best of luck with your investigation. Good afternoon. Bye.
Hello. It didn't, mostly, and thank the Divines for that. Of course, there were Dominion scouts roaming the Gerals on occasion, but that's to be expected. Minor skirmishes are not what people refer to when they speak of the horrors of the Great War, though. They mean the Battle of the Red Ring. They mean the sacking of Anvil. And these are evils that Bruma was spared. Her walls remain unharmed, and her buildings remain upright. That being said, Cyrodiil herself reels after the Great War, emotionally and psychologically. It took its toll on the whole province, and Bruma is no exception. Bruma may be spared the physical scars of the Great War, but the mental scars, they run just as deep here as they do anywhere. I am Decilis Carvain. I have the singular honor of acting as Count of Bruma, defending her walls and ruling over her people. I am young, and I know some use this as ammunition with which to criticize me, but they are short-sighted, and they are foolish. I act in the best interest of Bruma at all times. I will always fight valiantly to defend her from threats both within and without. That is what matters. It's a complicated task, let's put it that way. On the one hand, there are the Imperials. On the other, there are the Nords. And then, there are the other cultures to contend with as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the Stormcloak uprising in Skyrim has complicated things to a certain extent. But I'm proud to serve Bruma and her people. Well enough, I suppose. The Great War mostly spared Bruma, thank the Divines for that. Most of Cyrodiil didn't have such good fortune. Bruma is the jewel of the Geralt Mountains, a strong and hardy city, imperial in name, but equally Nordic by blood. And while the county surrounding her is frosty, as Viscount Carvain says, the hearts of our people burn brighter than the warmest hearth. We have our share of problems, I won't deny that, but Bruma is a prosperous county given the times. Compared to Shadenhall and Breville, Bruma might as well be paradise, and at least we were spared the horrors of the Great War. Mostly. Not particularly, no. I certainly don't envy my friends across the border in Skyrim, though. These are truly dark times for the Empire. Let us hope that this storm blows over, as of all the rest. But something makes me think this one's different. I fear Tamriel will never be the same again. If it's work you seek, speak with my Viscount, Marcius Carvain. He's more likely to have work for you than I. He spends most of his time in the castle. Farewell.
I can handle most smaller matters. Try not to bother the Count unless it's important. He's a busy man.
We've been having problems with smugglers. Don't hear anything about it. You go straight to the guard camp.
Can I help you? Oh, that girl. I hope she hasn't been too much trouble. Yes, she's mine and Heron's. Well, used to be at any rate. Recently, she's just been mine. He was stationed at Fort Pale Pass, but we haven't heard anything for months. None of the soldiers passing through here on leave have seen him either. I've sent letter after letter, but they still haven't told me anything. I have no idea where he is, what happened to him, or if he's even still alive. Yes, many times. I've sent letter after letter, but heard nothing. I can send as many letters as I want, but if Heron isn't even at the fort, then he's hardly going to see them, is he? You would? I'd be indebted to you if you did, stranger. Like I said, he was garrisoned up at Fort Pale Pass. It's right on the border to Skyrim. Good luck. And please, stranger, I beg of you, find my Heron.
What is it? Goodbye.
I'm Albekius, of the Jucani family. I am privileged to enjoy quite a comfortable life, but I do try to give something back to the less fortunate folk when I can. The Great War took its toll on us, on all Cyrodiil. She may not look so different on the surface, but her spirit writhes in agony. We're quite old and quite influential. When we say things, important people, tend to listen. That's not to say that we're the Elder Council, but we don't tend to be ignored either. And that's not to say we don't pick up on new opportunities when we can, of course. Our family must always strive for bigger and better things. Not to sound like a priest of St. Martin. Goodbye.
Can I help you? Do these rags look like Thalmor robes to you? Seems like everyone looks at an Altmer and sees Thalmor. It's attitudes like this that brought this refugee camp into being. Think on that. I came here from Skyrim. Everything was fine for the most part, although the Nords were never particularly fond of us. Then the Great War happened, and then the White Gold Concordat happened. We were assaulted, beaten and abused by the Nords, even by city guards sometimes. We couldn't live a normal life anymore. So my family and I fled. We came to Cyrodiil, and, as it turns out, we weren't the only victims of the Nords' bullheadedness. Eventually, this little slum was established, and we gained a new home. I still hope to return to Skyrim someday, but that isn't likely to happen anytime soon. Not with the uproar over the White Gold Concordat. The Nords don't trust elves anymore, especially Altmer. Why did the Thalmor have to ruin everything for the rest of us? Until next time.
Nordic heritage, Nordic culture, Nordic metalwork.
Veil wood scholar, streaming into
What in oblivion are you doing?
Which it is streaming for the boss man. They love the sinew. The sinew, the Bosmer love.
Nod. You're distressing the customers.
Distressing? I am distressing the customers.
That's what I just said. Yes.
You are... You dare... How dare you? I am outraged. You hired me to play songs in this bar that is so far below my standards, and now you proclaim my music as distressful? I'm done with you, standards, and I'm done with this shoddy excuse for a tavern. I'm off for the Restful Watchman, your top competition. How about
Goodbye.
that, huh?
You're back. Have you played back the Memory Gems recording for the captain?
Talentless,
When is he arresting that
faceless
damnable
fiend.
innkeeper?
How dare you insult my music? Could you do better? No, you couldn't. Because I was trained at the Bots College in Solitude, and I'm the foremost practitioner of the art of song since Faulkner himself. You are nothing more than jealous maggots, grasping your waist to insult me and belittle my talent. And to that I say, good day.
Hey, I was just looking down in the cellar. We're out of Greenwood Mead still, it looks like. We've been out for a week now. What's going on?
I wrote the order up ages ago.
Away with you, Rube! I am the most illustrious bard in the entirety of Tamriel. I promise you that. Much better than any of the bumpkins from the Bard's College. That I graduated to, of course. Of course I did. What, you think Renard even Tone, a master bard and true artist, would be rejected from the Bard's College? Of course not! Of course I am! A true Nord knows that boasting is appropriate when it is called for, and Renard even Tone knows this well. Or are you insulting my ability, bumpkin? Don't tempt me. To clunk you over the head with my flute or my lute, or bludgeon you with my fiddle. I know, I will travel to Daggerfall, grab one of those fancy bread knobs and spank you with it. Oh, or I could slam you with a tambourine so vigorously that every Bruma citizen could hear it. That would make you the joke of the day. Oh, look, there goes the tambourine man. How's that sound, Pissin' Rube? The hat? The hat? You dare refer to it as a hat? This bumpkin is a Colovian fur elm. They were all the rage back in the Third Era, though their popularity has since waned. But I, the illustrious Reed Olivan Toad, am spearheading their revival. Not only am I a pioneer of music, I am also a pioneer of fine fashions. Soon, when you see all and sundry walking around sporting them, you'll know in the back of your mind that we not even Tone was there first. Ridiculous! Ridiculous! You wouldn't know high fashion if beat you senseless. So let's not tempt high fashion, huh, Pissin' Rube?
What is it? Here's what I have. See you around.
I'm proud of my ancestry, as should all Nords be. Why not? It's doing well. A lot of travelers tend to buy from me, as well as young Nords who are soul-searching, trying to find the Nordic heritage here in Cyrodiil. The same reason I sell ancient Nordic artifacts, so that the young Nords here in Bruma can be reminded of the roots. Bruma has all the surface trappings of Skyrim, the snow, the cold, but Skyrim is so much more than that. Something Bruma isn't and can never be. It's about the Nordic ruins dotting the landscape, about the dragon walls. It's about the diversity. Whiterun and the Reach, the Pale and Eastmarch. That variation of Nordic culture is something Cyrodiil doesn't have. I'll be content if my presence here reminds just a few Nords that they're not just Imperials with more facial hair and deeper voices.
And the stress is getting to me.
Talk to you later.
You should take it as a compliment, Stan.
Who in Oblivion told that guy he's a good singer? I've heard Daedros do better.
Yes, you're right. One of these days.
His name is Renard, even toned.
To the Highlands.
Damned fool apparently thinks he's the divine's gift to singing. He's terrible, and he's loud. You can hear his terrible performances from the streets. It's getting very irritating. The beggar, Relante, has shown a particular interest in getting Renard to shut up for some reason. You could go speak with him. Perhaps he'd even pay you. See you around.
The Gerald View. We have drinks, beds, and food. Which do you need? Any or all? Business at the Gerald View is always good, due to our exceptional standards for customer service. We strongly believe that if you build it, they will come. We're renowned through all Cyrodiil and beyond as the finest inn, restaurant, and entertainment location in all Tamriel. We spare no expense for our customers' pleasure. As it happens, yes, I do. I need the shipping request delivered to Greenwood. My regular courier is unavailable. If you're able to act in his stead, I'll reward you with coin. Excellent. Take this to Afor Formalius at Greenwood, down where the Gerals meet the Great Forest. I'll deliver payment on your return. You know that bard, Renard Eventoned? Yeah. I hear the Jukanis paid him to watch over and entertain their kid Banus while they were out of town. Apparently, his attempts at lullabies scared the child so much he ran away from the bard and cried in the street until his parents got back. I heard the city guard are trying to crack down on smuggling. Been too many illicit goods making their way to Skyrim from here. Empire doesn't like it one bit. I hear tensions are flaring up in Cheydinhal. They've been bubbling over for a while. Dark elves and other dark elves, I think. Something to do with the Red Year. Bad business. Relante has been complaining about some noise nuisance. Talks my ear off about it. Probably that damnable bard, Renard Eventoned. There's a Thalmor agent here in Bruma, making sure no one violates the Concordat. So I'd advise you not to, if you don't want them to slap you in irons. I heard the general store, Icewind Traders, got robbed by the Khajiit, Dartakto. Or so Cetus says. Cheydinhal's overflowing, aftermath of the Red Year. There's some trouble going on with the Jukanis. Family feud or something. Their arguments aren't exactly hard to overhear. Been to Bruma's Synod Conclave? Useless quacks, the lot of them. Well, Ilentius is a nice guy at least. I mean the organization. They refuse to lift a finger for anyone who isn't a high-ranking member.
What strikes your fancy? See you.
I sell paint horses. They're leaner and more agile than the hulking horses you'll find across the border in Skyrim. Admittedly, there are better breeds of horses elsewhere in Cyrodiil, but none of them come as cheaply as mine. Faster and leaner indeed. Might not be able to withstand quite as many sword blows, mind you, but who cares about that, eh? Unless you tend to use your horse as some sort of fighting partner. Life as a stable master isn't so bad. It can be downright rewarding sometimes. Though, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but, well, we did lose a horse a few weeks ago. The owner's incredibly upset, as you can imagine. According to a few people nearby, it galloped off to the north, but I don't know where it could have gone to or why. Sadly, I haven't had the time to look into it either.
Believe me, traveler, if you do that for me, I'd be very grateful. Like I said, it went off to the north. I'd start there.
Stennar Seno at your service. I'm no Nord, but I'll keep drinking mead until I become one.
Well, I would be, but unfortunately I've got some debts to pay off. I've been doing odd jobs around town to help raise the septums. Sorry, lad. That's something a man like me keeps private. It might feel good to get punched in the face for being nosy. Would you like to find out?
Hail, traveler! Farewell.
Greetings, I'm Ambri the Bard. In the mood for a song? You wouldn't have. Stantis recently hired me to replace who was, by all accounts, a particularly disagreeable fellow bard. Yes, by all accounts, quite a shocking excuse for a bard. But I'm not here to pass judgment on others. I'm here to entertain. So, want a song? Well, nowhere compares to what's in High Rock, of course. Though perhaps that's just my affinity for Breton culture shining through. Well, there's the Nern Theater. You'll find it on the Imperial Isle just outside the walls of the Imperial City. Other than that, not much springs to mind, I'm afraid. Back home in High Rock. Wayrest, to be specific. Great place. A real bastion of the arts. Lots of talented musicians back there. Oh, you should head there sometime. They even have a menagerie, though it may have moved on by now. Ask away. Dreams of a once prosperous empire coming right up. An ode to an empire and a dream. One night I had a dream. I woke from tears and screams. Nothing seemed so real. The light, a land in flames. But then the skies fall down. The dream, it fades away.
Just like old times. Goodbye.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother. It's just that my most prized possession has gone missing, and I fear that without help, I'll never get it back. I normally wouldn't approach a stranger like this, but, well, I'm at the end of my tether. I could really use some help. Could I hire you? I could pay you handsomely. Okay. Give me a moment to compose myself. There is a priceless heirloom in my family that has been passed down throughout nearly my entire ancestry. As you may know, we Dunmer revere our ancestors greatly. Ancestry is incredibly important to our people. Therefore, you understand how important it is to me that my heirloom is returned. My apologies, friend. This theft has left me quite flustered. Of course! I'll pay you a handsome sum for returning my heirloom to me. Excellent! Thank you! The heirloom that's been stolen, well, by all accounts, the thief fled to the northeast of Bruma. I suspect they're holed up in Frozen Grotto. If you are able to retrieve my heirloom for me, I'll be forever in your debt.
Careful there.
What does this one want with D'Artagnan? This one has been falsely accused of stealing from Icewind Traders, the general store. They tell him he has stolen their hides, and that he is selling them at his stall. This is false. This one has done nothing of the sort. In fact, perhaps you could help. Adius Villius is the captain of the guard here in Bruma. If you speak to him, perhaps he will change his mind. This one fears he considers him a dirty thief and will not hear his pleas. Thank you. May you eternally walk on the warmest, glistening sands. These pleasantries please you, yes? Then Khajiit will continue.
You're back. Have you played back the Memory Gems recording for the captain? When is he arresting that damnable... You're back. Have you played back the Memory Gems recording for... Xerxes' backside! I'm leaving this awful town! I've had enough of this cretinous Cyrodiil. I'm returning to Alinor. At least there I'm not assailed by lustful lizards.
Mind yourself.
Please, sir. Just one septim. A series of unlucky events. I'd rather not talk about it. I will put it into the fund that I've been putting together for a while now, to buy a house and get a roof over my head. It's growing slowly, but surely. Houses are expensive. Bless you, sir. Bless you. I am. I try to be fairly humble, but sitting here day after day not being able to hear myself think for the racket he's causing, well, it dries my scales. Why do you ask? Are you interested in helping? There certainly isn't much a lowly Argonian beggar could do. Thank you very much. I am a beggar. I can't even afford a roof over my head, and I can barely afford to eat. However, if you were to deal with Reynard, I can arrange for you to be paid. Hail, friend.
My most sincere thanks, honored friend. See you around.
The Restful Watchman. Rooms and food, that's what we do. What do you need? Seems to me you're starting trouble asking questions like that. This is a fine establishment. We don't pretend to be more than we are, though. Now, what can I get you? A little birdie told me that you're annoying me. I don't tend to gossip about my patrons. Bad for business, you know, especially when you're in my line of work. Go on. Try. Piss off, you little bullnetch. The guard captain's tried to get me before, but he's never managed it for long. He can go suck on a spittle stick for all I care, as can you. You don't get far in this business by obeying the law, now do you? A little gold always greases the wheels. I'll tell you what you want to know. There's this Breton guy who comes through here every now and again. Sleaziest guy I've ever seen, except for me, of course. Got a reputation to maintain, you know? Name's Etienne, or something like that. Anyway, he mentioned something to do with Akaviri trinkets while we spoke. Mentioned wanting to sell them, or something. I guess he's your man. I don't know. Listen, do you really think I'm going to tell you everything about my customers? That's a sure way to get run out of this business. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Go on. Try.
What is it?
I'm Galarin, Synod Hopeful. If you have any cuts or bruises, I'd be happy to practice my restoration on you. Oh, I was born in Bruma. I traveled around Cyrodiil and lived for a few years in Coral, but the mountains and the cold air always called to me. My parents used to say there must have been some Nord blood in our family for me to love the snow so much. There probably isn't, of course. My parents were from High Rock. That's about as Breton as it gets. Too bad they aren't here to see me make the Synod. I think they would have been proud. They died a while back. Papa got sick, so Mama went out adventuring to try and raise money for a healer. Mama never made it back, so Papa never got his healing. I'm not broken up about it anymore. It happened several years ago now. But I do still miss the feeling of family. Of being loved, you know? In any case, being a mage of the Synod will help with that. That will be my place to belong. Yes, I am. I'm hoping to join the Synod Conclave here in Bruma. Restoration mostly, but I also enjoy alchemy and alteration. Not so big on destruction. I like preserving life, not taking it. Goodbye.
To fail at a simple job like that. No way it was just a coincidence. There must have been... Oh, hello. What are you looking at? Speak. That's none of your... I suppose there's no harm in telling you now. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to help. I'm a mercenary. Been one for years now, and I don't often fail a job. But this last time, I did fail, but not through any fault of my own. I'd been hired by some anonymous noble to clear out a cave full of bandits near Bruma. Offer some nice coin, too. My wife came with me. We're battle partners. Things were going well until we were ambushed. Bandit reinforcements showed up out of nowhere, flanking us the way we came. They bound us and gagged us, left us disarmed and defeated. They left with my wife and left me to die. I managed to escape my captivity, but when I got back to the cave, they'd gone. All of them, including my wife. I've been searching for her damn near a whole year now. No success. Praise Malakath. Once you turn up something solid, let me know. I'll be here. The best place to start is probably the castle. Ask the nobles, see if they know anything. What are you doing gawking at me? Shoo! I've given you a task! Unless you think you've found the culprit. Because the job came down the chain of power. I didn't get it directly from whoever ordered it. The steward gave me the job, but the steward gives out all the jobs. I doubt he even knows where the order came down from. I wish I knew. Actually, no, I'm glad I don't. I don't want to think about it. It can't be good. We'd made it far and done the job expertly. There were only a few bandits left. Then, suddenly, we're ambushed from behind, knocked to the floor, and restrained like dogs. I know coincidences, and this certainly wasn't one. Too meticulous, too perfect, too pre-planned. Talk to you later.
You here to do business? Then go over to the Gerald View if it suits you better. Me, I think this inn has more character than Mr. Stantis Fancy Pants' little establishment. Ah, that's good to hear. Thank you. Here, take a little bit of coin on the house. Oh, and have this. It's a leftover memory gem that one of the guys took out of the elf's pocket when he was passed out on the floor. Might fetch a decent sum. Alamu Nethre, dark elf girl. She's wanting adventurers to help her with something. Not sure what. We have the finest wines and meats in all of Cyrodiil. See you around.
Excuse me, but have you ever heard of the champion of Cyrodiil? Yes, indeed. And my great... well, anyway, my very distant grandfather. He fought alongside the champion. He was at the Battle of Bruma. He was the captain of the guard, no less. The champion is my inspiration, second only to Captain Bird. You know, the distant relative. I have a very large collection of Champion of Cyrodiil artifacts, my pride and joy, and I always want to expand it. Perhaps one day you'll aid me in that pursuit, huh? But that day isn't today. I need to track down another artifact first. Anyway, thank you for your time, and sorry for approaching you so abruptly. Sometimes my passion for the champion can carry me away. Sorry again. Oh, I almost forgot. If you're interested, come to my house. I have a fantastic Champion of Cyrodiil museum tour available. Innumerable Champion of Cyrodiil artifacts. Come, check it out when you can. Can I help you? Well, my the first, given his fame and status as captain of the guard, he felt
What
he
is
was
it?
worthy of making a name. It's been that way for generations.
No, there aren't. Doesn't matter much to me, but sometimes I do feel kind of isolated among all the Nords and Imperials. There wasn't already an alchemist in town when I came up here, and I figured it was a burgeoning market and a ripe opportunity. Fortune favors the bold, or so they say.
Goodbye.
See you.
Hello. Bye.
What is it? The prey approaches. What is it? Hello.
What is it? To ask me why I became an acolyte of Saint Martin is to ask why thunder strikes, why rain falls, or why the wolf hunts. It is because this is what comes naturally to me. You seem confused. Allow me to explain further. We all follow a path through life. We all desperately attempt to influence it to go a certain way or lead us to a certain destination. Others desperately attempt to steer it away from a destination. The amount of influence we can exert upon that path varies, but is invariably limited. In many ways, we must all make the most of what life gives us and adapt to its trials accordingly. Without boring you with specifics, it would be appropriate to say that my life so far has taught me many lessons of sorrow and grief. I have constantly been set back, and my attempts to change my course have always been met with bitter resistance by the winds of life. It is through St. Martin's example that I truly find my inspiration to become more than I am. It is in this that I am enlightened, and hope to be reborn. Goodbye.
We've been having
Citizen? Bentior wants legal pressure. That can certainly be arranged. Take this, a letter with my signature. Show it to him and he's sure to change his tune. Zombies tend to haunt caves. He's accused of stealing from Icewind traders. What of it? Ah, wait. Don't tell me he roped you into having the charges dropped. He's been trying that tactic a lot recently. I have sympathy for the cat, being accused like this while the bigger fish swim free. But what can I do? I have to enforce the law. No, but Cetus made the accusation. I don't know what you expect me to do, but I can't just drop charges on a whim like this. No, I can't. But if I have two people each claiming the other is lying, I can't just drop the charges.
As Viscount, I'm a sort of secondary count, if you will. I deal with a lot of the same duties as the Count, albeit deferring to him. Often, when the Count is busy with other matters, he delegates lesser affairs to me. It's quite interesting. It also affords me a fair amount of respect. Being the Count's second in command is no mean feat. The usual, honest citizens, wild animals, bandits, all in one melting pot. That and stubborn Talos worshippers, they've always been a risk to Bruma since the Concordat. Old habits die hard. Yes, an explorer's guide to Skyrim. Very popular in Skyrim. Seems to turn up in the most unusual of places. Farewell.
Hello, I am Afana Adichie. I'm part of the Bruma court. Do? Oh, well, I suppose I don't really do anything in particular. I mean, I help out the Count when needed, of course. My father owned land outside of Bruma, and after some lucrative business with the Carvanes, became well respected. I inherited what he owned when he passed. Oh, but I do love conversations like this. Let me think. There was one raid Simond organized last I remember. Never mentioned it to me. Always been a quiet fellow, but I saw it in his journal. No, truth told. Though I imagine you could just check Simmons. I obviously couldn't endorse such behavior, though. Goes without saying. In his quarters, of course. Though you may need a key to get inside. Well, maybe I do. I'm a terrible liar. Okay, I have one. But I obviously couldn't give it to you now, could I? Unless you could always do me a favor. Here's what we'll do. I'll give you the key to Simmons' quarters, and you can do whatever you wish. But in return, you have to leave this note in his drawer. No need to read it. It's sentimental. Oh, fantastic. Here you go. I eagerly await your return.
I'm Sinja. Sinja Strongmind. I heard of 2 raids on bandits in the last few months. There was Operation Strong Arm, and another. The other one was on Amidas, if memory serves. But Strong Arm was my idea. Afraid that's all I can remember, though. Things move quickly here in the castle. I hired just some common, everyday mercenaries, really. Nothing particularly They were holed up in plundered mine. As far as I remember, I swear, bandits breed faster than skeevers in a keck of Blackbriar. Yes, it was. The bandits were cleared out, and the ringleader killed. Minimal casualties on our side.
Yes. There was Strong Minds operation. That's about all I can remember, though. Nothing that I recall. Apologies. What? No, of course not. That's preposterous. Bye.
Can I help you? Farewell.
Did you do it? Did you plant the note in Gordier's drawer? Oh, I am a fool. Farewell. Did you do it? Excellent. Here, take a bit of extra coin. My treat. I can't wait until Simmond reads it.
Until next time.
What is it?
Welcome to Castle Bruma, seat of County... An interesting question. We keep records of expenses from members of the Bruma court, especially the times it's coming out of our treasure. However, we don't give this kind of information out to anyone who so much as asks. Why do you want to know? Truly? I see an honest glint in your eye. I think you are telling the truth. Well then, I will get you any information I can from the records. One moment while I go check them. You just wait around here. Well, I've checked the records. There was one account of Afana Idichi hiring some mercenaries for a job similar to your description last year. She spends a lot of time around the castle. You can go speak to her if you wish. Out of memory, there was another who hired some mercenaries for a bandit raid last year too. It was, Simon Courtier. Yeah, that's the one. Not too sure on the details. I'm going off of memory here, since his mission wasn't recorded in the books. Strange that. We usually keep thorough records. Well, anyway, I hope I was of some help. But that's all I know, and all the books know. Best of luck with your investigation. What is it? Until next time. Hello. What is it?
What do you need?
I'm placing you.
Should have paid the fine.
Who made that noise? I knew I heard something.
Someone do
Found
something.
Seen any goblins around? Primitive little thing. Heard some bootblack disappeared in the mountains. He's accused of stealing. Ah, what? I have sympathy for the cat, being accused like this while the... Your fish.
Hello. I am a do my I oh, but I do love. Huh. Never mentioned it to me. Always. You can't blame me for. I obviously couldn't. In his quarters, of course. Unless you. But in return, oh, fantastic. And
I'm Sinja. The other one... Afraid that's all I can remember, though. I hired... They... I swear... Yes, it was. The bandits were cleared out.
Hello. Yeah. Nothing that I recall. What? No. No, of course.
Farewell.
That's preposterous. Bye.
Did you do it? Excellent. Here, take a bit of extra coin. My treat. I can't wait until Simmond reads it. Hello. Can I help you? Farewell.
What is it? As often when the Count is... It's quite interesting. That and Stubborn Tower. Yes, an explorer's guide to Skyrim. Very popular in Skyrim. Seems to turn up in the most unusual of places.
We don't give this kind of information out to... Truly? One moment while I go check them. You just wait around here. Well, I've checked the records. There was one account of Afana Idici hiring some mercenaries for a job similar to your description last year. She spends a lot of time around the castle. You can go speak to her if you wish. Out of memory, there was another who hired some mercenaries for a bandit raid last year too. It was, Simon Courtier. Yeah, that's the one. Not too sure on the details. I'm going off of memory here, since his mission wasn't recorded in the books. Huh. Strange that. We usually keep thorough records. Well, anyway, I hope I was of some help. But that's all I know, and all the books know. Best of luck with your investigation. Can I help you? I can handle most smaller matters. Try not to bother.
Around.
Hello! Clean, mostly. I do all the work that nobody else wants to. I don't mind it, really. Especially since that means I get to work around my friend Irma. Thanks for asking. Until next time.
Razada the Resplendent greets you! How can my arcane ability and esoteric enlightenment help you on this fine day? Yes, indeed. To my great regret, a few scalawags here in Bruma appear to have not paid their bills for their enchanted weapons from Razada. I am beside myself with angst about this, as you can no doubt imagine. So, my fair and, might I say, rather imposing friend, if you would be willing to speak to these scoundrels and acquire my warranted compensation, I would be most obliged. Excellent! Allow me to arm you with more knowledge of the aforementioned mischief makers. You'll need to speak with Roland Wickert, the young chap at the Synod Conclave here in Bruma. Stantis Valeria is the second of these reprobates, the owner of the Geraldview Tavern. The third is Stablemaster Ila the Upright. Clearly the title was given rather than deserved. Do this for me, and I shall bestow coin upon you for each, and a truly copious recompense indeed once all three mischief makers are dealt with. What an intriguing inquest! I do indeed have a bed. Well, a bedroll. I do not own property in Bruma, for the city is full, and I am somewhat of a latecomer. That, and not being registered to any property, grants the Synod and College of Whispers less opportunity to persecute, hound, maltreat, and, molest me, as they are wont to do. Why, of course not! No self-respecting mage joins those scurrilous syndicates. Oh, my friend, I'm strictly independent. That's what allows me to cut out the bumbledom and bring you only straightforward sortilege. Bruma is the last bastion of Imperial land before the border and the harsh ravages and independent College of Skyrim. Those poor souls who find themselves overcome with vexation at the shockingly bureaucratic nature of Cyrodiil's key magical institutions, well, they tend to, peregrinate to Skyrim. When the Imperial Border Guards halt them at the selvage, so to speak, they lodge in Bruma. Thusly, my wares are in great demand. Of course, excellent. Well, I have 5 fabulous, unique items in stock at the moment. The first is the wooden staff of awesome conflagration, which summons a tremendous fiery inferno at your target location, extremely dangerous. The second is the scepter of frosty entombment, which is truly a unique frost staff. It will trap your target in a block of ice for 10 minutes. The third is the Blade of Prepotence, which causes your target, any target at all, to shrink, becoming supremely weak and vulnerable. Fourth is the Staff of Titan Summoning, which summons a mighty Daedric Titan at your target location. It will demolish all in its way. Fifth is the Rod of Potency, which will certainly bring great pleasure. That I can guarantee. So, which will it be? Your loss, but do reconsider.
You there, a traveler, in my house? Why, of course, you are here to sample the sweet sounds of Renard Haven Tone and his lute, or his flute. Noise nuisance? Noise nuisance? What do you take me for, some alleyway wastrel? I'm a bard, you impudent fool! How dare you speak to me in such a manner? And whoever complain, such nerve! Ah, yes, but you were the messenger boy, weren't you? You are the one who came to deliver their infernal message. Indeed, whoever it was that complained is likely an agent of Maroon's Dagon, for who else would have such distaste for the beauty of music? Then they should have asked me to play lullabies. That would have been sufficient. I believe one of those goes something like, you know, in the great green tomb there was a chorus, and a draw that had been dead since Sunders, and a picture of a guar jumping over the mountains. That kind of thing. They could have asked for that. But no, instead they proclaim me a nuisance. The nerve! The nerve! First you insult me, then you offer me aid. How unexpected. At least you're learning your place. Yes, I suppose there's something you can do. My prize loot is missing, and I'm forced to use this shoddy replacement. It is impacting my ability to perform greatly. It is even making my renditions of Valenwood's Color Streams Anew into Sinew sound worse. Valenwood's Color Streams Anew into Sinew, that is a basic ballad. Absolutely basic. So go and fetch my loot. Some thief took it, probably. Somewhere here in Broom, I imagine. Off you go. Time's a-wasting. Annoying! I will try to hold my rage for now, but do not try my patience, Rube. Go fetch the loot before I clunk you over the head with my flute! Come to speak to the best bard in old Tamriel? Unsurprising. Go on then, speak. Nope, none at all. Try asking the ruffians over at the Restful Watchman. That's where most of the riffraff like to drink themselves into a stupor.
I promise, I won't blow it on mead again. I just need some new shoes, or I'll lose my toes. I, that I am, fought in the Great War against the Dominion. I lost my weapon, lost my sight, and lost my freedom. Can't do much now on account of my eye. If only I had an extra septum to help me buy a loaf of bread.
I've heard a thing or two, but it's going to cost you. Haha, yes, that's what I like. Thank you.
Have you heard that bard, Reynard? He's probably one of the worst musicians I've ever heard. And I've heard the wailing of old Caroltus Cockeyed.
I've heard a thing or two, but it's going to cost you. Haha, yes, that's what I like.
I hear some unique people pass through the Restful Watchman. Spending a night there might be interesting. Lots of them. I was there, you know. At the Battle of the Red Ring. I saw the bloodshed, the chaos. I had a journal, kept a record of all that I went through, but those damned bandits came through and stole all my belongings, journal included. Serves me right for trusting that slimy Argonian in the tavern, Cowers and Corners, or whatever his name is. You do that for an old beggar? Praise the divines! I'll reward you as best as I am able. Bless you, sir. Bless you.
Indeed, this is odd. And you say it just appeared here out of thin air?
It isn't mine, that's for sure. Where do you think it came from?
What is with this commotion? Where did that come from? Who made this mess?
That's the thing. We don't know.
It just appeared, out of thin air. Maybe that stranger over there has something to do with it.
You there, come here.
You there, come here. You say that with confidence, as though you know exactly what mess I'm referring to. That fills me with a certain degree of suspicion. Well, I'm not entirely sure. But I suppose within the unknowable depths of the arcane, something such as this is not entirely implausible. That said, I suppose it would be downright foolish of you to strut in here after causing the mess. Well then, I apologize for the inconvenience. Welcome to the Broom Synod Conclave. Attendant, clean up this mess, would you? And take that statue to the back for examination.
Yes, First Adjunct. I'm Roland Wickert. Hello? Me? I'm the resident destruction expert here. Well, if you want to call me an expert. I wouldn't. I'm still learning, honing my craft, as they say. My ultimate goal is to perfect the art of defensive spellcasting. I want to be able to conjure the raw power of combative forces of nature and beyond at will. But that'll have to come later. Hopefully sooner later, rather than later. Destruction spells? No, not really. If you really want to learn, you'd have to join up with us before I can show you what I know. Nobody here is even allowed to teach you the advanced stuff, though. Synod or not, it goes against regulations. Not that I've really reached the advanced stage yet myself, anyway. I think the same as everyone else around here about them. That they're another magical organization that the Synod have no standing relationship with. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely slipped my mind. Here you go.
Welcome to the Gerald View. What can I get you? I'm sure you are. I purchased one of Razada's... what did he call them? Pleasure candles? Yeah, that's it. He said it would make the customers enjoy their Gerald View experience more. In reality, it just clogged the nose. So much so that a few of my regulars nearly choked to death. So no. I don't think I'll be giving him his money. They'd probably see things my way. I'm sorry for any inconvenience I may cause you, but I'm not giving Razada coin for ripping me off.
Heard they were...
Come, warm yourself by the hearth. Excellent.
until we find our way home to everyone's
You did well to choose the Giral View. Your room rental also includes complimentary access to the Giral View bathhouse on the lower floor. Peruse it at your leisure. Our customers find it very rejuvenating.
From peace they have strayed. We sing
Bye.
that they throw down their arms. 'Cause till we find our way home, there's blood on our throne, spreading evil and hate. We pray that it stays between our family and...
Another patron of this fine bathhouse. Please come in, come in. The water's fine. Excellent, even. Someone else who desires a relaxing bath, yes? Welcome to the bathhouse, fair patron. So, to whom do I owe this pleasure? An excellent name. I get the feeling that you and I are about to become good friends indeed, yes? I call myself Bathes in Murky Waters, though friends call me Bathes, for I enjoy bathing in baths very much. These are dark times for the Empire, wouldn't you say? It still has not recovered from the Great War. And now, once again, it appears it will descend into turmoil. The Dominion are increasing their presence. And I hear rumors, whispers on the wind, of insurrectionist groups agitating against the current government. Some of the political families of Cyrodiil are even vying to place themselves upon the Ruby Throne. What say you to that, friend? Yes, but I wonder if there might be hope yet for the Empire without its median overseers holding it back. Now, friend, tell me honestly, and remember we are friends here in this most innocuous of public places. What do you truly think of the Median Empire? I agree, and they cannot withstand the chaos ensuing from it. The rebellion in Skyrim, the public bitterness, but the Empire is greater than its current median rule, and it cannot be allowed to collapse, no? There must be change, yes? There must be revolution. Do you not agree? Do you not? Your indifference will be your undoing. You will soon change your tune if the Empire collapses on top of you. However, opinions are as fluid as the waters we currently sit in. No? You may yet stumble upon me bathing elsewhere, when your thoughts are different, yes? And now, my friend, I must depart. I am sure we will see each other again. An interesting conversation we had in the bath, no? Even... What do you...
May you walk on warm sands.
The Gerald View is quite an agreeable venue. So, what can I play for?
The Gerald View. We have drinks, beds, and food. Which do you need?
Until next time.
Good afternoon.
Hello? Bye.
Hey, watch it.
Resplendent invites you to his boutique of magical wonders. Don't delay. Patronize today.
Good afternoon. Farewell.
Welcome. The name's Edvia. I'm Holgard's assistant. Strongest steel and best prices in the whole province. Take a look.
Good afternoon. Relatively good, as of late, I'd say. Hostilities are boiling under the surface here in Cyrodiil. Have been for a while. No one dares make the first move, but everyone's waiting for it with bated breath. That means they're arming themselves in preparation for rainy days to come. And that means customers for blacksmiths such as myself. Not to sound like a war profiteer, of course. Sure, they're not walking around in armor with swords in their scabbards all the time, but people are keeping a weapon handy a lot more these days. Never know when you'll need to defend. Don't tell Armian I said that. They know a storm is on the horizon, and soon enough all of our lives are about to become a lot more dangerous. They want to be prepared. Relatively good, as of late. No one. That means not to sound like a war Sure, never know when you. They know a storm is on the horizon. You're asking a Nord where he learned to smith. That's like asking an Altmer where he learned to make you want to punch him in the face. I learned all over Tamriel. I learned near enough my whole life. When I was 10, my mother would always be going on, you know. Damn it, Holgard, I haven't seen you with a hammer out of your hands for years. I don't even remember what your empty hands look like. By now, I'd believe it if someone said you were born with a smith's hammer in your hand, and burn marks to match. The bottom line is that blacksmithing is as much a part of being a Nord as the beards and the drink, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'll teach you what I know, for a small fee.
Hello? Why, my friend, surely the better question is, what don't I sell? I sell anything and everything, or thereabouts. Business is always good for a general goods merchant like myself, since I don't rely on any particular thing to draw in sales. Take poor old Fadel, the butcher, for example. If someone doesn't want meat, he doesn't have a customer. But me? Someone doesn't want meat. They want silverware. Don't want silverware. How about a potion? And so on and so on and so on. Most things are very popular. The only thing that isn't popular is cutlery. Turns out the Nords aren't all that big on table etiquette. The finest selection of merchandise.
Until next time.
Greetings. Welcome to Ice Wind Traders. If we don't have it, you don't need it.
What is it? Welcome to the Hall of the Champion, the only museum of the Champion of Cyrodiil in the Imperial Province. While some call it a place of learning, I imagine it as an altar to the Champion's greatness. I offer exclusive tours of the museum with thrilling explanations of the significance of each artifact. Only 20 septims for a fantastical retelling of the Champion's exploits. Thank you for your contribution. Now please, follow me. Mind your step. Oh goody, you're in for a treat. Our tour begins with the prison. The Champion of Cyrodiil was the Imperial Majesty Uriel Septim VII in the Imperial Dungeon. These are the manacles which the Champion wore. A priceless artifact, I assure you, which I acquired at a princely sum. The Champion was with the Emperor when he was slain by the cowardly assassins of the Mythic Dawn. Such a shame. But without this grave incident, the Champion would never have risen to prominence. This is a cuirass of Kvatch. It's not the actual cuirass the Champion was rewarded for services to the city. But it was touched by the Champion when they brushed by a guardsman on the way in. Kvatch was the first city saved by the Champion during the Oblivion Crisis. They bravely entered the land of Daedra and broke the siege of the city. An ordinary piece of fabric. How could this be interesting? Must be a placeholder. Except it's not! The Champion used this handkerchief to blow their nose while ascending to Cloud Ruler Temple. It was reclaimed by an old merchant during a trip to the ruins north of the city. Can you believe it? The essence of the Champion, preserved for us to see and touch! Touching the handkerchief is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the handkerchief? There you go. Just touch it. Feel your hands caress it. So, what do you think? Yes, from the records I've studied on the subject, the Champion of Cyrodiil had a terrible case of rock joint at the time. Caused them to blow their nose constantly. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Ah, now this is a treat. The Sword of Bird, my family's progenitor. Bird was captain of the Bruma Guard and fought alongside the Champion during the Battle of Bruma. Ever since, my family has taken the name Birdson to remember the great warrior from whom we stem. Touching the sword is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the sword? Because it belonged to my great-great... grandfather, Captain Bird, of course. Fine, your loss. Let's move on to the next display, huh? Finally, here we have my most prized possession, the Finger of the Champion. Many say the Champion disappeared after the crisis, but I know better. My theory is that the Champion died following a great battle with a were-minotaur, a vampire, and a unicorn. Before the Champion's body could be lost to the earth, it was carried away by woodland creatures at the behest of Kinnereth. Unfortunately, a band of Khajiit stole the body when it was being carried by a troop of squirrels. Before the body could be lost, an Argonian mercenary... Well, I won't bother you with the whole story. Just a theory of mine. However, if my theory is correct, then I have recovered one of the last parts of the body, the finger bone, and can present it to you today. The other display cases enclose other items that were owned by the champion. Swords, shields, brooches, silverware, all very exciting. I also sell Champion's Vigor, a potion distilled from the herbs the champion was said to consume each morning. And you can have a portrait painted of you with the champion's finger, but you need to give a week's notice. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back if you have any questions about the champion. Well, the champion of Cyrodiil saved the entire world. Why not revere him? Are you questioning the honor of a bird son? How dare you! Old stuff, new stuff, useful stuff. Good riddance. Ho ho! Fresh meat in Bruma! Always good to see another customer here at the butcher's. See you around. What can I get for you? Skingrad didn't have as many lucrative opportunities as I would have liked, so I got thinking, how can I make my fortune? One of my friends, a Nord guy by the name of Nolir, he was insane for meat. Put a steak in front of his face and throw it all the way to Coral. He'd run after it like a rabid dog. He gave me the idea. I thought to myself, if the Nords love meat so much, why not cater directly to that need? Cut out the innkeeper, middleman, and let the Nords come to a dedicated butcher? And so I did exactly that. Bye. You're right, there aren't. It doesn't surprise me. The biting chill up here is a far cry from the golden sun of Hammerfell. Far cry from the lukewarm of the rest. Doesn't bother me as much as most. Then again, I spend most of my time in my house, with a nice warm hearth to keep me cozy. So. I mean, it's good, and I'm earning a decent living, but I guess I expected more. Here in Bruma, the most Nordic place in all Cyrodiil, I expected my meat to be selling by the bucket load. Nords and their appetite for meat and all. Seems what I didn't consider is that the Nords love meat just as much as they love fighting. They'll go out and strangle a deer to death, which you can probably guess undermines my business somewhat. Still, I'm doing all right, for a butcher. Let me know if anything catches your eye.
I got a pretty good selection of attire here.
The Restful Watchman, Rooms and food, that's what we do. What do you need? What? Let me see that. Oh, damn. Fine, I'll tell you what I know. Listen, I heard the thief had some dealings with some, fellow businessmen holed up in the Gerals. You'd probably call them bandits, though. I tell you, no respect for the profession these days. Here, just so I don't have to go sit in a cell again, I'll mark it on your map. Go take it up with them. And by the divines, leave me alone now, alright? God. The guy's a thief. Hardly keeps it a secret. Sometimes I think he doesn't know the meaning of the word discretion. Always talks big about getting into big gangs, raiding with the best of them. Always going on wild guar chases to impress ringleaders into letting him run with them. Put it this way, you know those people who will either end up rolling in septums or dying young? He's one of those types.
Talk to you later.
Can I help you? This one calls you friend. Even if I did, why would I tell you anything? So you could go like the good little saint you are and tell the guards? Huh, no.
I'm sure. No, you're probably just one of Adi's little hound dogs. Run along, boy. Run.
You're back. Any news on my wife? Who's the spineless wretch that sold us out? Tell me, now! Gautier? The Breton? Then I'll rip his... Wait, a Breton? Really? A Breton? Weak-willed, soft-spoken, magic-practicing ponces? How could a Breton overcome an orc, even with bandits on his side? I remember overhearing talk in the castle that Simon had a luxury manor up in the east of the Gerals somewhere. Go search this guy's home. See if it actually was him. Find something, anything, that conclusively links him to the crime and bring it to me. If it is the damned Breton, that's when we act. Bretons. They're like fresh-born at Chatter. Pretty to look at, not a use one.
What is it? Until next time.
Don't judge me too harshly. I wasn't always the decrepit old horker you see before you. In my youth, I was quite something. You bet I would. But I'm sorry if this comes across the wrong way, traveler, but, well, I'm poor. I'm no good for jobs anymore, and people aren't going to pay you for just existing. So, tell you what, you give me a couple of septums, and I'll regale you with some stories. Sound like a fair trade, stranger? If you think me a beggar, then who am I to argue? That's not what I call myself, though. I'm a washed-up old warrior who's barely managing to keep a roof over his head. Does that make me a beggar? I'll defer to your judgment, stranger. Thanks, stranger. Rare to see such a generous sort here in Bruma. It was a bright, sunny Turdus and Whiterun Hold. I was hanging around Dragon's Reach, hoping to meet a rich noble lady and strike up a conversation. What can I say? I was young and naive. Imagine my surprise when out of the keep, instead of a noblewoman, comes a beautiful battle maiden, covered head to toe in beautifully crafted steel. She carried a huge steel claymore on her back, and I have no doubt that she'd have wielded it just as well, if not better, than any of the city guard. Paralyzed by panic, I remained silent, dared not to say anything to her, even as she was breathing in my face. She chuckled, then asked me if I was up for a challenge. Said there were some bandits in a local cave, marked it on my map, and challenged me to clear it out. Blinded by my own lust, I accepted. She handed me that glistening greatsword she carried on her back. I wasn't trained with a weapon, but I was strong. I could hold it, unlike most. She said she was impressed by that. So I took the greatsword to the cave she had described. Well, it was actually a mine of sorts. Ember Shard, they called it. I headed inside. Down the slope, I could just see, through the gloom, the red glowing eyes of a Dunmer. I assumed he was a bandit, but I wanted to be sure. Foolish and young, that was me. So, like a damned fool, I called out to him. "What are you doing down here?" I asked. He said nothing, but I saw his eyes narrow with anger in the dark. Then they got larger and larger, and I heard footsteps. He was coming towards me. I was done for. Then, all of a sudden, I heard a clink. The Dunmer had stepped on a pressure plate. And just like that, a whole pile of boulders came crashing down from the rafters and crushed him under them. That was one bandit dealt with. His screams as he died, and the sound of the rocks falling, attracted the attention of the rest of the bandits in the mine. I heard who I can only assume was their leader shout, in his typically guttural orcish voice. "Seems like we've got company, boys. Weapons out, eyes peeled. Let's go." I hid in the darkness, once again paralyzed by fear and doubt. Then an idea struck me. What if I made a trap of my own? I took the Battle Maiden's longsword and put it up in the rafters where the boulders were. I rearmed the pressure plate to the best of my abilities. Just as I was finished, the orc rounded the corner, as did a band of other brigands. One of them held a torch and waved it around to illuminate the whole entranceway. Soon enough, they saw me. That was it. My big moment. My life or my death. The orc saw the boulders on the ground. I can only assume he took it as a sign that the trap had already been triggered and was safe to stand on. And so he stood on the plate. That was his big mistake. The greatsword came careening down from the rafters with a force the likes of which I'd never seen before. By the blessings of Stendar, it impaled him straight through the gut. He bled what looked like lakes full of blood, and no sooner had I blinked than he died. The rest of the bandits very close behind him tripped over his flailing feet as he fell. They went diving headfirst into the rocks that lay on the ground, and the blow on the head ended them too. It was then that the door opened behind me. My heart damn near stopped. The bandits wanted their retribution, I thought. My life's reached its end. But it was the Battle Maiden. She had realized I might have taken her joke seriously, and so she came to try to warn me before it was too late. She saw them all there, lying dead, including the orc who had the greatsword still sticking out of him. Her eyes widened in shock. Let's just say I was economical with the truth when explaining what happened during the encounter. It was then she told me she was one of the companions, an order of warriors based out of Whiterun. She said I had what it takes to be one of them, and so I joined up the next day. And that's the story of how a few happy accidents got me into a life of adventuring, I suppose. Funny the way the world works. Of course, for a small donation.
Got a lot of copies here. Interested?
Can I help you? Haran! That... Oh, did Licinia send you my way? Forget I said that. No. I haven't heard from him in months. Not since he was called to arms. It's that obvious, is it? Well, I don't hate the boy. He's a good husband to Licinia, and a good father to Elena. But if I had a son like that, I'd ask the divines what I had done wrong. You might not understand why, but every soldier of the Legion takes an oath. Upon my honor, I do swear undying loyalty to the Emperor, Titus Mede II, and unwavering obedience to the officers of his great empire. May those above judge me, and those below take me if I fail in my duty.
Long live the Emperor! Long live the Empire! Haran said those words, but I could tell he never meant them. He holds Skyrim and his Nord heritage closer to his heart than he ever held the Empire. Bye.
I take pride in my potions. Step right up, step right up! I've got just what you're looking for. Farewell.
You look like you could use some new clothes. I mean, not that what you're wearing looks bad. Goodbye. What is it? Alright, I suppose. My sales pitch isn't very good, I know, but I still get a fair few customers. Everyone needs something to wear, I guess. You can tell, huh? Yeah, I'm not exactly the best salesman. Don't exactly like being one either. Don't worry though, I'm a much better tailor than I am a merchant. You know, I always thought about doing something else, becoming an adventurer or whatnot. It's just, well, I'm not cut out for that kind of lifestyle. As my good ma always said, Gryfard, my worthless, good-for-nothing son, you gotta do something with your life. And since you seem to be better at sewing than spellcasting, you'd best become a clothing merchant, so here I am. Yeah, she's a lovely woman, my mother. Powerful mage, too. If you see her around these parts, though, you warn me right away. She's the reason I left High Rock. Farewell.